smells like shit.
This show is sponsored by... Hello, everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Chris.
I'm Barbara.
And I'm Gus. What he's talking about is the bathroom here. Specifically the men's room. So the women's room does not stink.
It has before, it doesn't always.
Does it have the same drain hole?
Yeah. No, it definitely smells like sewage. It's not like normal bathroom smell.
We should
Should we trade to smell each other's?
clear the bathroom, make sure it's empty, then have Barbara go into the men's room and see what she thinks about that smell.
I could go do it right now.
Yeah, why don't you whiff both bathrooms?
Because
and give, like,
the
out of 10
smell, when
score?
you not even
It's
walking
really
into
bad.
the bathroom, the second you open the door, it hits you in the fucking
the pressure
face.
change goes through a mask immediately.
Yeah. It's rank. And the reason is that there is a dried out drain in the floor because there used to be showers there.
Ew.
And since this building was unoccupied for a year and a half, almost 2 years, the drain has dried out. So all of the gases from the sewers below are just come straight up
But
through
how
that
can
drain.
something dry
And-
smell worse than something wet?
Well, no,
Since the door is closed so much because there's nobody in this building, it just fills with sewer gas. So the second you open it, it just hits you in the face and fills your lungs.
I think it would be dangerous to light a match in there.
It bet
Oh,
it
probably would. Like, because the P-trap, like in a pipe, that's what keeps the sewage gases from coming up. But when it dries up, then there's no stoppage.
So we got dry P-trap.
And what I was saying before we started was that this has been a problem ever since the Congress office for us, where we converted an old Wendy's dining room into our office, and it had a bunch of bathrooms in the back, and for some reason we made a fucking shower in there, and no one ever used it, so it dried out. So our whole office back then would stink in the exact same way. That's how I learned about this. I learned about this problem 15 fucking years
Yeah,
ago.
you've been dealing with it ever since.
And we're still having this problem. Hey,
also-
guess what? There's 30% off the store right now, site-wide for our Black Friday sale. Go buy something so I can fix our fucking sewer.
I feel like your shirt is very appropriate right now for what you're doing.
In the Congress office, I just remember shitloads of cans of Febreze by the sink.
It was
We
so
really
bad.
shouldn't have modified another Wendy's to make this office.
Another Wendy's, I know. We did it once before.
I know. We should have gone with Arby's.
This room also is starting to smell really bad.
It's just there's no ventilation in here.
It's because all the podcasts happen in here, so people come in and out with their stench and
Bunch of
whatnot.
stinky boys.
Yeah, and girls, and bees. But just everybody is just like
It's just a weird place in general. I was
Right.
walking from the bog, like trying to get the stink off me.
into
and
another
then
stink.
I looked at someone's, because all the computers out there are being worked on by people who aren't here.
Remotely,
So
yes.
it's
Yep.
like a bunch of ghosts working. It's really scary. But all the times on all the computers are wrong. I was freaking out. I walked out. I was like,
really?
504, shit. And I started running, and then I walked past another one. It said 454. I was like, and it was like 502. I was like, what time is it? Why are all the times wrong? Aren't they all connected to the damn internet? What's happening out
I
there?
That's
thought so
weird.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess some people, like I know at home, people set their clocks differently if they want to be like early to places. So, but I can't. Why would you?
On a
504,
remote
502.
computer? I don't know.
Yeah, they're all like a range of about 10 minutes out.
What's weird to me is walking through and like seeing the ghosts work, and then seeing something be like, what is that? Like I don't even know what that is that they're making right now.
Before we get too far away from the store, I just want to show off. I'm wearing a bunch of stuff. This Ruby Groovy shirt that we have, there's like a whole line of Ruby Groovy stuff. These two Stinky Dragon shirts that we finally have.
Yeah.
We got the group cast one. Comes in both yellow and, I believe, blue.
I really like that yellow color.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then the roll for backflip, which if you buy, it's supporting Blaine, so maybe just go with the other one.
Yeah.
But this one comes in kind of like a purple and a white. So both of those.
I also really like that Ruby Groovy line.
Ruby Groovy.
And-
say it 8 times fast.
Ruby Groovy.
I have all sorts of merch. I have got 2 mugs,
didn't
Black
bring
Box Down,
anything.
Good Morning from Hell. I got a hat with a pen, Black Box Down shirt, and I started. If for everyone on who purchases merch, you're entering a contest to win some chicken spaghetti.
What kind of chicken spaghetti?
My mom. Well, it's right here.
Mom spaghetti.
It's actually not my mom's. But
Where I think we're supposed to be incentivizing people to.
What the hell
Why
is
is it?
that?
It's in a zip. Like it's not even in a zip. Like it's not even in a Tupperware. It's just a Ziploc of frozen spaghetti. Chris, that's not spaghetti. That's linguine, isn't it?
No, it's frozen chicken spaghetti.
That's not spaghetti.
what's
It's
the
spaghetti.
No, it's chicken. I swear there's spaghetti.
Can I see it?
Let me.
It's
Oh, he's
frozen.
right.
It's
Is
frozen.
it spaghetti?
That's
Okay,
right.
are the noodles just frozen
Yeah,
together?
they're all frozen together.
Oh my god, this probably weighs like
You
7 pounds.
You think that was a lot? There was 5 gallons of it. That's one of like 12. I only got away with
You're gonna
one.
break the table. See if you can cut the table in half with spaghetti.
That's contest spaghetti. Here,
What?
give me that. Yeah, wait, let me
You
see.
could, yeah. Was this you're damaging someone's
New
prize.
contest, new contest.
I bet you could kill someone with that.
This is.
You easily
Probably. One whap in
And
the
eat
head.
the murder weapon.
Oh my god. And that just shows how durable this product is. So that's why everything at store.rooster.
I was convinced something was gonna
30%
break
off
there.
everything. Extra
Chance
win
to
on
win.
And our
spaghettis.
Christmas sweater. I was wearing it earlier, but it's too hot in here.
A chance to win this great spaghetti. This is the only one I got home with. All the other ones are in different freezers at different family members' houses.
Yeah, and those are not available in the
Those are
RT
not
store.
available. This is an exclusive.
People don't have to. Like, you're threatening them now. If you don't want the spaghetti, you don't have
That's
to take
optional.
the spaghetti. Okay.
I mean, it's only one person would win it anyway.
Big dog's got to eat.
They don't
And Chris-
have to eat.
Do you have gum on the bottom of your shoe?
I was wondering that too when I set my.
Why?
You're like a 6-year-old.
Where have you been?
You get gum on the bottom of your
It's
shoes.
like
You got
apple
mom's
hubba bubba.
spaghetti.
What is that?
I have
you
no
want?
idea. I just noticed that whenever I put my feet up on the table. I think you weaken the table.
It was
Yeah.
already like that.
Can you say hubba bubba again?
Hubba bubba.
B student
like
chat
that?
says you can kill someone and eat the evidence.
Where's the murder weapon?
Isn't there like a joke about how an ice pick is a really good murder weapon?
Yeah.
Does it
Icicle.
melt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Icicle. Ice pick. Ice
mean,
pick is an actual tool, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That would also be a good murder weapon.
But you can't- it wouldn't
not
melt.
To get
Okay,
away.
you can't melt
It wouldn't
it.
melt away.
You can't chew it up like hubba bubba.
But no one would ever be like, the forensic scientist said he thinks it's chicken spaghetti.
I think that hurt my elbows. Like I hit
The
it,
Doing
vibration.
this.
like so hard, like hitting it so hard.
Can we see if it defrosts by the end of the podcast?
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, then you
dangerous.
can't, you
Nah, I
can't,
don't think
refreeze
it
it.
won't. It won't. There's no way. I drove like 8 hours of that thing and it didn't freeze.
What do you mean?
It didn't unfreeze.
Unfreeze?
It didn't unfreeze. It
But
was
it-
slightly getting soft.
So
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
say you probably shouldn't eat that.
you're gonna let that sit
totally
here
fine.
for 2 hours, and then freeze it again.
Yeah, it won't be. It will barely have. It'll still be very rock hard.
Someone's gonna get
Nice.
poisoned.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, whoever wins that, please do not eat
I
it.
do wonder.
Hey,
Is
you guys should win Chris's rock hard spaghetti.
can
Can that go into your cookbook? Chris's rock hard spaghetti.
I guess I could make a cookbook at some point.
You should.
Fish and
Drop it on the
dressing.
table, it'll break it in half.
Are there any legal what are the legal ramifications of promising something like
Oh.
spaghetti?
Well, is it a contract?
I mean, is it written anywhere?
I put.
Well,
it
how
on
are you
Twitter.
gonna? How would you pick a winner though?
I
Like,
was thinking
you don't have
people-
access to the store
I
orders.
don't. I figure people will just they screen if you
There you go.
screenshot. What camera? Where camera do I look at? If
The
you
wide. Oh no, you're over here.
If you screenshot your purchase of the store, then
And
you'll
respond
be,
to Chris.
Yeah, respond to my tweet, which is Chris Demarais, and then if you get something from Black Box Sound, Good Morning from Hell,
Sticky
or Sticky Dragon, or Squad Team
Woo.
Force, you get double entries because it's my spaghetti.
But nothing else.
Well, I
You
might
can't
do.
actually give that to anyone.
I can too.
Yeah, and then you Chris will pick one of those people.
I'll pick
and
one
you'll
of
You
them.
send
need
him.
to
At random.
include the fact that you're not responsible for food poisoning. If
I'm
you
not
eat it.
responsible for food
I feel like
poisoning.
all
I
the-
claim nothing. I claim no responsibility for anything.
I feel like the legal ramifications won't come from the promised spaghetti, or we come from the lawsuit of the person in
Someone-
hospital from
Chris,
the
how long
spaghetti.
have you been
Receiving and
working?
consuming the spaghetti.
How long have you been working in a front of camera position and you still can't find your camera?
They don't light up.
Right, but you can tell. Look at the angle. Which one is that? It's that one.
It's aimed at Barbara and you, so it's not
Yeah,
going
I
to
know.
be that one.
I know. Well, I was looking at the center one.
But it's not wide.
I
We're
know.
not in it.
I was thinking about spaghettis.
Like I can look and I know instantly which camera to look at.
Listen, brain can only process once at a time.
Yes.
Brain is filled with spaghetti.
Spaghetti, no process other things.
Isn't spaghetti plural, right? Like
Spaghetti.
the singular is spaghetto.
Could I get 2 bowls of spaghetti?
No, like a single noodle
May I have
is a spaghetto.
Spaghetto?
I think so.
No.
And then like when you have multiple spaghettos, it's spaghetti.
That can't be right.
Singular of spaghetti.
So if like someone named Geppetto would like one spaghetto.
Spaghetto is the singular word for spaghetti.
So like 1 noodle.
One noodle, one spaghetti is a spaghetto.
Well, this is a big,
But I feel like you would say 1 spaghetti noodle. Like you wouldn't say one spaghetto.
That'd be like saying
But you
one
could-
unicorn.
You could say one spaghetto. Impress your family this holiday. Holiday, go home and tell them you want to eat a single spaghetto.
Start an argument with your family is what that phrase should
How
be.
many spaghettos are in a typical bowl of spaghetti?
7.
No, way
7.
more.
Well,
I would guess 32.
Yeah, it depends on how thick and long they are. Nice.
Chris Nices himself.
Well,
Rock hard, thick and long. Spaghetto.
my spaghetto is super thick. I don't want any of this angel hair spaghettos.
What's the single angel hair? Oh, wait.
Angel hair spaghetti. Spaghetto.
Is angel hair's pasta?
And you didn't bring this up with Olive Garden when you went there every day?
Well, what, the chicken spaghetti?
Yeah, just the
there's no,
spaghetto
no
conversation.
affiliation with Olive Garden.
No, I know. And
But this is like,
No affiliation.
I mean, this is technically my inheritance.
Yeah. I mean, just for this one particular holiday, right? Not like your
And you're-
entire
and-
lifetime inheritance.
And you're gifting it?
Well, I got this at a, I got this at a funeral. And so
Oh, right.
this is technically my inheritance.
Did the person who passed away make that?
No. It was just at the reception. What do you call that?
You took food from a wake?
I think he was given.
I was given it. I couldn't leave the door without it. My mom was like, please take it. There's so much spaghetti.
There's so many spaghettos
multiple
left.
spaghettos.
She was like,
Please take some
she was like,
hands.
please, we have, because I helped bag it. There was like 30 of them. I mean, there weren't 30. There were really, there were 12 bags of the spaghetti.
That's a lot
How
of
is it-
spaghettos.
what pot was it made in?
I'd never seen such a thing. It was a crock pot, but like more like a crock cauldron. I did not know such a thing existed.
What planet was this funeral on?
It was just Mississippi.
Yeah, there would be a lot of spaghettos there at Mississippi.
Yeah. I have that and a bunch of insurers.
And
Those are not part of the giveaway. I
don't think anybody would have thought they would be.
Well, I'm saying like things like
All the food you procured at this funeral are now available with 30% off purchase in the Rooster Teeth store.
Yeah, no, just the spaghetti. The insurers are mine.
Your inheritance.
Yeah.
We were doing, when was this call? We had a meeting. Was it Friday? I think it was Friday. And
Wednesday.
was it Wednesday?
Yeah, it was Wednesday right before Thanksgiving.
Oh, you're right. Friday we were off. It was Wednesday. We had a call that was a meeting for a squad team force, and Chris had to call in remotely. And I don't remember how it came up, but I think we heard something or something was happening in the background. Like, Chris, what's that? He's like, oh, it's just my Ziploc bag of spaghetti. We're like, what? And he like picks it up and holds it. He's like, yeah, it's my Ziploc bag of spaghetti. And it was just like the perfect Chris moment where you're like trying to have a meeting talking about stuff
From
and
a funeral. as
Chris
well.
is
Messing around with his funeral spaghetti.
Well, that's what gave me this idea. I was like, well, we were talking about, it was like it's like Black Friday, 30% off, everyone knows, like, and then I was like, spaghetti.
of course
A natural
as you do.
progression.
And that's how
of
you got the
thought.
idea.
Yes. Hey, in the chat, let us know when you hear, hey, store sales coming up. What do you think of?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti?
Maybe spaghetto.
Yeah. Well, I brought it up because
Gavin, could you explain this? I feel like you're the closest to Chris's, like you could get in Chris's mind, probably easy. more easy
Explain
than
what
this.
part of it.
How he got from us talking about the sale in the store to spaghetti.
Well, it was just they weren't connected, other than the fact that you asked, "What's that noise?" I said, "Oh, I think it's my spaghetti rolling around."
In chat, the Faraj Mahal says podcast title name Spaghetti Inheritance.
That's what it is.
Darter 9000 says funeral spaghetti. I think they're workshopping podcast titles for us.
So you were at this funeral. We were having a meeting.
Not at the funeral, at the meeting. This was like the next day.
Yeah, he was
the
calling
next
it.
day, and you
The
had your
next-
bag of spaghetti.
But
that
it was
you got-
rattling around.
That was rattling around, is causing a ruckus.
Were you in a car?
Yeah, I was in car driving.
Okay. On the call?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I was like driving back from the funeral.
How did you turn your camera on to show us the spaghetti while you were driving?
It was already on. If I remember, he had like a mount,
Okay.
and it was just like already like it was just pointing at him while he was driving. And I think if I remember right, the spaghetti was just like in the seat next to you, and you just grabbed it.
Yeah, that's all. That all tracks.
That's how I remember it.
And then Chris thought, genius idea. I'll give away my spaghetti to encourage people to shop in the Rooster Teeth store.
So how long was that drive?
Well, it was broken up. It was about it was 6 hours there, and then 3 hours later.
But this was frozen.
The first 6 hours. I had it with some ice too.
Okay.
So it wasn't.
just
It wasn't
figure out.
just. It
Have
wasn't.
you already had some of this?
I had some before it was bagged and frozen.
Okay.
It was
How
good.
was it? Was it good?
It's good.
What kind of sauce is that?
It's like a cheese chicken spaghetti sauce.
Why don't we just
thing.
warm it up now and have some?
You can't break
You
off a
can't
little
because
piece.
it's a prize,
yeah.
dude.
Just chisel some off.
We've already promised
Yeah,
it
nice
to
thing.
If
someone.
no one claims it, then sure. I have other bags. I could get more shipped,
No,
but I'd have to contact. It'd be a whole thing.
We're good. We don't want to take anyone else's inheritance.
I think we could make fresh chicken spaghetti for whoever would win this. And
Are you
freeze it for
shipping internationally, by the way?
No, I haven't. I mean, they have to pick it up.
It's local pickup.
them. No,
I mean, what?
just get one of those.
How am I going to ship it?
You get one of those
Like
dry
it's a
ice
couch or
containers.
something.
Like dry ice.
I didn't.
You're just so it's only available to people in Austin.
No, they can come get it.
No,
So they have to be in Austin, Chris.
No, they can come anytime. I'll
Right,
put it in a
but
freezer.
they have to be
I
in
will
Austin.
Store it. I will store it.
But they have to be in Austin.
Yeah,
They have
come
to drive
RTX.
to Austin.
Right.
Yeah, Chris will freeze that for you until RTX. Come pick it up.
For real, if someone wants it, I will.
Don't.
I'm making that claim now.
Make sure you write on it if that's the case. Get like a Sharpie that, and that way you label it in the freezer, you don't accidentally eat it. You're
it's
like,
gotta be
what's
the
this
same
spaghetti? Like, oh, right, this belongs to someone from the internet. They're coming to Austin in the
Even
summer.
if this convinces just one person to come to RTX this year, I'm all for it.
Or if it convinces one person to take advantage of the great Black Friday sales, still available
Cyber
now on
Monday.
Cyber Monday at
Spaghetti.
store.roosterteeth.com. 30% off everything in the store except for the spaghetti. That you might win that.
Although when this comes out, it'll be Garbo Tuesday, right?
It will be Garbo Tuesday, which is
It will be.
an even worse deal.
But
There's something.
even
There's
funnier.
We haven't
something.
announced what's coming out, have we?
There's something coming
I
out.
have no idea. I just assume Garbo Tuesday's like the what is? Well, I don't know.
well, it's
Let me-
1% off.
Let me
everything
show you. I'm gonna
on
show it to
Achievement
you.
Hunter.
But keep talking.
Yeah, it's.
It'll take a second.
I'm excited about the thing that's coming out for Garbo Tuesday.
It's so dumb.
It's pretty great.
So dumb.
It's in the spirit of all of the great Garbo products that we've released to Garbo Tuesday over the years.
That being said, 30% off I think ends today.
I believe so.
Or is
Garbo
it-
Tuesday has its own set of deals.
Oh,
Right.
it does.
But
Well,
if you
then-
want 30% off, you should get what you want
But
today.
if you want to wait and get 1% off Tuesday,
It's 29% more that you're paying. Don't get me wrong, that's more money for
they have-
us. But if it's a better deal for you to probably buy stuff now,
yeah, I'll hold off on the spaghetti till after the Garbo Tuesday.
when does your contest end, Chris?
Well,
All entries have to be tweeted to you by.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Is that a good day?
When you have to pick a time.
Wednesday at the end of the day.
Okay, there you go. That's not a time.
That's coming out tomorrow.
God.
do you know what that is?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I
dumb.
just saw the image. It took me a second.
Enjoy, everybody, tomorrow.
Did y'all have a good Thanksgiving?
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's. I guess this is a good segue to talk about something. This is, a time of year when I think people get together and see their family. Maybe you haven't seen your family for a little while. Thanksgiving, Christmas, like it's a time where you see your parents, your extended family, maybe you don't see all the time. It's a good time to maybe sit down and talk with them and ask them if they have. When's the last time they changed their email password? Do they have?
You're gonna say something really sentimental.
Do they have? Because I have a family member who had their email hacked over the holiday, and once they get into one thing, then it's like it spreads all over. I helped them figure it out. I was like, okay, they showed me what had happened, and I helped them figure it out. Like, okay, you need to change all of these passwords. You need to contact these people. These are all the things you need to do. Talk to your parents. Ask them, when's the last time you changed your email password? Change it. Do you have two-factor authentication? This is what two-factor authentication is. You should probably use it.
Also, maybe just talk about scam emails and what those
Right,
look
yeah.
like and what they say and what to avoid.
And
Don't click on links.
VPNs, not to be
Well, yeah.
too pluggy,
That might
but
be a little-
for real.
That's maybe
A little complicated.
a little
for it.
complicated for some, but maybe not for all.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt to at least bring it to the front of their mind, because I felt terrible for them. Me
couldn't-
explaining it and going through it took a long ass time, and I can't imagine once I presented all of this, this is everything you need to do now. It's that is days of work on top of losing money or time, and whatever else.
Is that what you spent your entire Thanksgiving
It
doing?
wasn't my entire Thanksgiving, but it was a lot of time was spent dealing with that.
No, I get. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like something I think I'd never thought to ask my family members about or to ever tell them anything about that.
Yeah.
Shame on me.
It's really inconvenient having Thanksgiving and Christmas so close together, because if you live in a different place than your family and need to like travel or
Yeah.
whatever, like, or commute really far to see them, and trying to decide, like, do you usually pick one to go see them at? Because I feel like Thanksgiving is very important here, and Christmas obviously is like,
It's really
people are always with their families for that.
yeah,
But
it's poorly planned. It really is. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I'll generally do like a smaller family trip to Thanksgiving, and then like go all out for Christmas.
yeah, it just seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's always unappreciated.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like whoever plans the get together or hosts the get together,
It's
it's
a
unappreciated.
lot of work.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking work.
That's why my brother did it. I gave him new flooring, the gift of new flooring.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you do something to his floor?
No, yeah, I installed his new flooring in his
No, but
den.
did you mess up his old floor?
No, I didn't do anything to it. I spent all of Thanksgiving installing flooring.
Because he hosted you.
Yeah, and I wanted to get invited back because sometimes my brother doesn't like me.
So you're getting back into his good books with a bit of floor.
Yeah. Well, he almost beat me up at Christmas. I told you that.
Oh,
story.
right.
Yeah. So I was like,
I forgot about that.
he almost
think I
beat me
know
up
that
at
story.
Christmas. Yeah.
Why did you do that?
There was this category,
Remember they were arguing about how
Categories.
many books the Bible
Categories.
was?
and he almost beat me up over it. So then I was like, I'll install some flooring, get in his good graces.
Did it work?
I think so. I
Or
mean,
are
I
you,
want to
like,
see my
neutral
nephew.
now?
You know,
Jesus Christ.
How do you know how to put in a floor?
I had to top myself. A lot.
They just like click in, don't they?
Yeah, you got to level it, and it's a lot. I mean, if it's a level floor, then it can be pretty good. I got a lot of good saws too. I love cutting stuff.
Didn't realize you were so handy.
We had a jack-o'-lantern carving video that we released for Squad Team Force on TikTok.
Oh my god.
It was like, I think we each had 60 seconds to carve a jack-o'-lantern, and we could bring whatever tools we wanted.
60 seconds.
And Chris showed up with power tools. And
I really, truly hope no one from HR watched that video.
yeah, I have a behind-the-scenes video. So like someone who I think it was
dangerous.
Cameron was up filming
He
Chris.
was carving towards his hand with an electric carver.
I knew exactly where
I have a
was going.
behind-the-scenes video. So I was standing further back in the room, and I was behind Blaine, filming Blaine reacting to Chris throughout those 60 seconds. And Blaine is just like, his hands are on his head, and then he starts covering his eyes because he can't look.
Is that not in the video?
No, it's
Why not? That's good shit.
But it's also, we also put out a video of Chris and Blaine making pumpkin pie from scratch,
Where I used
which
the saw.
went just as well as you thought it would.
Turn out better than that.
He,
I think so.
no.
I mean, it
It was like pumpkin soup in a weird,
it's solidified.
but he used the carver for that as well, and he came so close to his hand.
you can see. I'm showing Gavin the video of Blaine reacting to Chris using the power tools.
It was
Were you filming for Blaine's reaction, or were you filming for the evidence after Chris's hand comes off?
I was getting a little bit of both.
The worst injury I've received from all the tools and cutting and sawing and stuff I've done,
So far.
all home improvement injuries was I got smacked in the face with a trash can.
All right, you made Barbara do a spit take.
See, you can still see it. You see a gash right there in between my eyes.
What position were you in when you got smacked in the face
was-
with a trash can?
I was getting rid of stuff. I was taking stuff out to the trash can. I was shoving it in so hard, and the lid flipped over and smacked me on the face. I saw a white.
Was it metal lid?
No, it was plastic.
Was it
hit
a
me
white
that
lid?
hard.
It was like one of the.
big old plastic ones, yeah.
But it hit me so hard, I saw white, and then it was bleeding down my face. That's the most extensive injury I've received.
Oh god.
It was from trash.
Wait. I feel like we need further clarification here. That's the most extensive injury you've received? What does that mean?
Like,
Ever?
is it? Well,
in your life?
While doing like home improvement DIY.
I don't know if throwing stuff out is home
Right.
improvement.
Well, This is kind of
part
what I'm
it.
getting at.
I was removing trash and materials into the trash.
I don't
You're taking the
remove
trash
materials
out.
and say I'm doing home improvement tasks.
Right.
But it was
Like
related
if you're demoing a room, sure, but
So
you're
if I
taking the
throw
trash
out if I throw out food scraps, do I say I'm cooking?
No. Well, I'm just saying, like, it was in the same time period. Like, I was also working on
What if you needed to take a dump? Are you still doing home improvement?
Well, I was.
It's the same time period.
I mean, technically, it is home improvement, you know, because you're like making your house a better place by getting rid of trash. But no, I meant like I was getting rid of the materials that I had like.
What
demoed.
caused the lid to fly up though?
I had pushed it so hard,
During
trying
his
to
home
shove it in
improvement.
deep.
But I just don't see, like, the lid swings over the back, doesn't it?
It was like this. I
was tilted
leaned
up.
up against the fence, so it was like this. It was leaned up. So when I pushed it down, and then it toppled. The trash can wobbled and leaned the lid.
I have a
forward.
question for
Yeah.
you.
my
Did this
God.
happen before or after you got locked out of your house in your underwear?
This happened like just last week, so way after.
Way after.
Yeah, what's wrong with you,
Way
dummy?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just showed you the injury. It's right there. You can see it still.
Is it that little line on your nose?
Yeah, it's a little line. on there.
Chat Emotional Banana says taking a dump is plumbing.
Can that be the title?
Taking a dump is plumbing.
Oh, man.
No dumping. Well, basically, I think we're all very surprised that you still have all your fingers after using that tool twice now.
Do you read the manual of, like, if you get a new tool that you've never used before, do you just use it? Or do you
I read
study it?
No, I read the manual and I watch videos.
That's good. So you're pretty responsible, really.
I try. Yeah, I mean, I haven't injured anyone yet, except for me. And I just,
Except for your
Power
trash
tools
can.
scare the shit out of me.
they
Like, I
scared me
hate
a lot too.
that Dremel I bought that was previously like 2 cans of Dr. Pepper instead of a Dremel.
Yeah.
That it's like a Dremel saw. I just hate using it.
I love
does
my
it does a
Dremel.
good job.
What about a flamethrower? Oh my god, flamethrower.
What about it?
Have you used that before?
Yeah.
Does that scare you?
Yep.
Okay.
Oscillating.
So make sure we're
multi-tool.
consistent.
Dude. It's
The one that
best.
goes like.
Yeah, it can sand, it can saw, it can do everything. I love it. It can
I-
incision cut.
You can make a
cut drywall
jack-o'-lantern.
with that.
I think
Can't make a jack-o'-lantern.
He was literally cutting. He was doing this towards his hand with that. It literally
There's not a
would
lot of movement in that though. It's just like tiny
Yeah,
vibrations.
it's very.
It
little
would have
vibrations.
sliced off his
It would,
finger
you know,
like
it would
butter.
nick you.
Yeah,
but
say,
it
would,
would've hurt
you put that near your hand while it was on?
No, but
Right.
I don't think it would go through the
It wouldn't
bone.
have gone through. It would have just cut me, but it wouldn't have because it's a slow cut.
I guarantee you it would have gone through your finger like butter.
It could have with time.
It would have hit the
Did
joint.
you see how it went through the
Yeah.
pumpkin?
Yeah,
But
my-
I think the thing with that is you just let go and it turns
Yeah.
off. It's like if you felt it, unless you were like going like this.
Which he was for a while.
He was.
Okay, maybe it would-
He was kind of just. Listen, I mean, we could find out.
What brand of tool guy are you?
Oh,
The home improvement one.
I have a couple, but there's one that I'm gonna. They're not sponsored this podcast. I'm gonna try it.
I like that attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever really necessarily picky about it. I didn't used to be picky about it, but then you get to a point where they finally started doing the thing where batteries became interchangeable between different tools. But it's
Dude,
like,
that's the best.
right, but it's like now it's like you got to make a commitment. You got to buy one and stick to it.
Gotta
That way-
get in an ecosystem and stick with it.
right.
That's why my vacuum now can use the same battery as my power tools. It's awesome.
Does your vacuum not plug into the wall?
No, it's a battery powered vacuum. So if it runs out, I just get the battery from my like drill or saw.
I feel like you just put a vacuum back on a charger though. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
how often do you
do
run
that
out and
too.
need a quick change?
Well, if you can do that, but
You're-
I can use. I also have an extra battery for my saw now or my drill.
You're not selling me on this vacuum.
It's a cool
I
vacuum.
have the Dyson.
You can do
just
whatever you
charge
want with
up.
it. I can charge things. I could. It's an extra battery.
But does it charge when you put it down?
Yeah.
Like when you
yeah,
have a
I
dock?
have a thing. Yeah, I have a dock for it.
So
too.
I'm asking when do you vacuum to the point where you've run out?
If you
and you
forget to
need
put
to
it back on
quickly-
the dock, or if you're drilling
Oh,
or
yeah.
cutting something or mixing cement and you need another battery, you take it out of the vacuum.
If you dump your vacuum scraps into the trash, are you still vacuuming?
I would say that's like part of the vacuuming process. That's like you don't have to do that every time,
Okay.
but I would say that's like if you were saying
What if
it
you-
was a job like
What if you
vacuum.
did it a day after you vacuumed? Is it still part of the vacuuming process?
I think it's a duty that you neglected from the original vacuuming process. But or it could have been if you're doing it the day after, then you're prepping for the next vacuum.
What monster doesn't empty the vacuum every time they use it?
If it's a
I
quick,
don't do that.
If it's not full,
It's not full. No, that's way too much
if
dust.
it's like an eighth full, I'm not going to empty.
Yeah, if it's enough for me to bust the vacuum out and vacuum, I'm gonna empty it.
only if I could see what went in
yeah,
there.
when it's
Oh, I guess
full.
my vacuum has like a see-through canister.
Mine does too, but like if it's just like a little bit, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, might as well just wait.
I wait till it gets pretty full so that It's so gross and dusty.
Yeah. My vacuum cleaner gets covered in blonde hair, like on that little spoolie thing, immediately. After one, it's covered. We have to cut it off with scissors.
Oh,
Yeah.
If we got just a shitload of flex tape and covered up the drain in the bog, do you think that would fix the problem?
no.
Why
No.
not?
I
You think the
it'd make it
pressure would
worse.
just build?
we need to fill the P trap.
I think you should go and whiff it, Barbara.
Maybe we should all piss in the P trap.
That would do it too. That would be better. That would be better.
I could do it. I'll do it
tell you what.
in between now and the post show.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's a little tease for the post show.
Yeah.
Between now and the post show, we'll
I'll film myself
go over there.
smelling it. I'll give the footage for the post show, and then we'll do the post show where we discuss the scent.
Interestingly,
so one
wouldn't be the first post show we've done from a bathroom.
Yeah.
one of us should be in the bathroom filming for her reaction when she comes in. The other one of us should be outside with her walking in. So we have
Oh yeah, I'll help
we
film.
have both angles.
Why is it always that we're in a bathroom for a post show when it's something really gross? Because the
Because
first time we did it was the boogers on the wall.
When would we go to a bathroom for something cool that's not gross?
I don't know, just hanging out.
Like, let's go to, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what would be in a, yeah.
Yeah, like if it's hey, we got this cool new appliance in our bathroom. I don't know.
Yeah.
Got a new hair dryer.
There is a funny sign in the bathroom that's like someone,
Oh, don't tell me. I'll see it for myself when I go in and
Okay,
smell.
Yeah, don't spoil
Well, that's
it.
in the other bathroom, though.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not in this one.
Oh,
Someone took a sign and put it above a urinal. It's funny.
We'll show you next time we're.
nice. Does it say
By
no
the other one.
dumping?
No, it's way funnier than that.
Oh. No, the bar was very low, so I would hope so. I have 3 appliances in my house have decided to shit the bed. Kind of
bed?
sequentially. It's not an appliance.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we just went off from bathroom
Yeah.
To
and
kitchen.
you're like, shit the bed.
What happened?
So my fridge, all of a sudden the ice maker just completely stopped working. It's a shitty fridge anyway, so we're probably gonna replace it. The dishwasher, the second you turn it on, it breaks a fuse. So we have to keep resetting it every time we want to use it
Like in the breaker box?
in the breaker box. And my dryer, the way it's configured, the lint that goes up that tube, we think there might be a really bad clog or something like on the roof where it comes out. And to the point where when the moisture goes up, it doesn't have anywhere to go. So there's water seeping out of my dryer.
That's not good.
And
shit.
the lint trap doesn't catch anything anymore either.
I have
All
a
just
question
gets
You
about
could fix.
So we got to get an HVAC guy out there, but
I'll do
with
it.
dryers though. Why is
I
it that
swear to God, I'll fix it.
no. If Trevor can't fix
good.
it,
I can fix. I bet I can fix the dishwasher.
With the dishwasher,
he's working on it.
it might be your breaker and not the dishwasher, but
No,
it might also be the dishwasher.
Okay, do you want to know what's bullshit?
Yeah.
All the things I just mentioned.
Yes,
and
all bullshit. But dishwashers don't come with their own power cables.
Well, neither do like dryers. Like
know,
most
it's
most appliances don't come
wait,
with them.
really?
Well, it depends on
No,
what
they don't.
socket you have, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly,
They,
it's bullshit.
They apply them depending on what kind of
that-
outlet you have because there's different standards.
That used to be with everything. Well, maybe I don't know about this country, but in England, you like back in the day, you'd buy an appliance and it wouldn't come with a plug on it. You'd have to terminate your own
Really?
3-prong. Boop.
You have to. Well, I think
I think electric dryers are like that here still.
electric dryers. If they're gas dryers, they come with a plug.
Right, because gas dryers are not electric dryers. That is correct, Chris.
Yeah, Yes, I agree.
Why is it that when you vacuum, you fill up a container with dust and stuff, and then you don't just throw it out into the world like your dryer does?
It's an interesting point.
Like, why is it okay that the dryer just shoots shit out into the environment and not into a bag that you
I
can
guess
empty?
I've never thought of that. I've never
That's pretty
thought of,
fucked
like,
up.
the
Well, you do have a
anatomy.
lint. You have a lint catcher that you throw.
Yeah,
in the
but
trash.
still,
Yeah, but there's
ton of
always
it-
like
if
shit
you-
outside. Like,
If you see hair-
if you
it's
look
mostly
at the
air.
thing outside where it comes out,
it's covered in
it's
lint.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, isn't lint just dead skin?
No,
I think
like
this is
and,
like,
like, obviously
cotton
fabric.
fuzzy
stuff. Yeah.
I'm thinking of
Dust.
Dust.
Yeah.
dust is just dead skin.
Pretty much.
Dust? No.
It's dead
Well, I mean,
skin
it's
and,
also,
and
like-
mites.
It could depend where you are. Like, if, dust is outside too and can blow in.
But if you're
Dust ball dust.
somewhere with a bunch of people, it's probably dead skin.
We
That's-
learned
yeah.
this a long time ago. We all are just dust in the wind. That's a famous song. It's just teaching us. We're all just dead skin cells in the wind.
Hey, Mike on the ball.
All we are is dust.
Wait,
in the
wait,
wind.
wait.
Don't stop talking about this.
I mean, I think that's the case, right?
Yeah. I feel like we taught something to Chris today.
And Chris taught us a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I watched a documentary the other day on Hulu.
Sorry.
What?
I just thought of something gross.
Go ahead.
I don't want to derail you.
No, go ahead.
When I was a kid, whenever you see a really bright light in the that's like shining into a room, you can see little speckles of dust.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I thought that those were vitamins. Like, I'm talking like real young.
Barbara and I looked dead at each other like, did I hear that right?
When I was like real young, like they say the sun, like there's vitamin D in the sun and stuff.
Yes.
Like when I was like 4 or whatever, 5, I remember seeing that and be like, oh, those must be the vitamins, those little speckles.
There's the D and the C and the, yeah.
Yeah. And so I remember being like trying to eat them. Like as a kid, trying to eat the vitamins.
If it makes you feel better, you probably weren't eating any more than you were just by breathing.
Right.
Yeah, sure. But it's just, now I'm just thinking about me trying to eat dead skin. Like trying to get nutrients.
Sorry. I've never heard anyone say that. Well, I guess that's true for a lot of things that you say.
Yeah, but this is not just me. This was also like my little sister thought, or my little brother and my sister thought that we were all trying to eat vitamins. I don't know.
So the siblings who were younger than you all thought the same thing.
No. My older sister is older. Maybe this is all for just memory that just like flashed in my head, like when I was like 4.
Chad is so confused.
What else did you eat that you thought was
vitamins?
Food.
This chicken spaghetti. Just sitting there like taunting us this whole time.
I don't know. I'll think on it, but go on to the documentary.
It's like that. Were you there in Australia the time we met that person who said that they didn't eat? All they had to do was look at the sun.
Yeah. Well, you told us about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Superman?
They just needed to look at the sun, I think, at sunrise and sundown, and that's all the nutrition they needed for the day. It's like the same thing you're thinking about.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary on Hulu over the holiday weekend. I don't know if y'all have seen it. About that Von Dutch brand. Do y'all remember that brand? It was really popular like in the early 2000s, like 2002, 2003.
What kind of stuff
People
did they
would wear like trucker caps that just had like a patch that said Von Dutch on them. You see like all the celebrities.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, would wear it. If you saw one, you might remember it. It was for like a year. It was everywhere, and then just like all of a sudden it was gone. And there's a 3-part documentary about that brand on Hulu. Because like it was like the kind of thing where at the time, like I said, it was everywhere. You couldn't not see it at the time, and then just all of a sudden one day it was gone. And it's like this 3-part documentary about they were just hats that just looked like that.
Yeah.
Terrible logo.
Terrible. It's just like this 3-part documentary about the people who started that company and the history behind it, and like what led to it becoming a huge phenomenon, and then it just disappearing and falling off the face of the earth.
Weird.
It's a brand I hadn't thought about probably in close to 20 years. So it's interesting to see. But it was funny because watching it, it's like they're doing all these talking head interviews with people, and there's like 4 different people who introduce themselves like, hello, I'm so and so. I invented the Von Dutch brand. And it's like they all tell like kind of similar but kind of conflicting stories about like how it all came together, and like, yeah, I was doing this and I was doing that, like, but that guy, he was never around, it was me who was doing this stuff, and I made these deals, and so it's like this weird thing where like everyone has a vested interest and like different perspectives on the origin
their
of
own
it.
version of everything.
Yeah.
That's just like life in general. Everyone has their own version of you. Everyone has their own version of a story or how something played out. And you can't do shit to change it sometimes. Yeah. Because it's just everyone's their own main character, baby.
That's why dash cams are important.
Moral of the story. True. Dash cams.
But watching it, it was also, there were some times where people would be telling stories and you'd listen to it, and then after they were done telling like their version of events or something, I'd be like, I don't believe that at all. That doesn't sound right. I don't believe that for a second. It's just really interesting, like that unreliable narrator, where it's like all these different people trying to tell essentially the same story.
Did you watch all 3 parts?
Yeah.
Damn.
You recommend it?
Yeah, it's interesting, especially like I said, because it was huge. It was like just like this huge brand, and I guess like one of the guys who was the designer for Von Dutch, and like did a lot of stuff that sold really well. Eventually, when the Von Dutch brand went away, he was the person who acquired the worldwide licensing rights for Ed Hardy merchandise.
What?
And then after Von Dutch went away, he was kind of pretty much
just his
responsible,
tacky brand.
right, for Ed Hardy becoming on the rise and becoming popular.
God, what about Juicy? Are they also responsible for that? My God.
But it was again, it was just interesting to see these people who had such a weird effect on shitty brands.
It's another documentary on Hulu. But did you guys watch anything about the Turpin family? Or hear about this at all?
Why was that back in the news?
I think it's because it's been a certain amount of years, so they're just talking about it now. I'm not sure why it's in the news again, but they recently had an interview with two of the daughters.
Yeah, Esther was telling me about it. That's why I didn't see it, but she was telling me. I guess she
It's
must
like a
have seen
family
that.
of 15 parents and then a bunch of kids. Essentially, parents were like chaining the kids up, not feeding them, not bathing them.
Yeah.
Essentially had them locked up in this house for their entire life, and like they never left. I think they left one time to go do like a vow renewal for the parents or something like
Disney
that.
World or something.
Something like that. It was like their first time ever out of the house. And
The
I
first
guess
time ever at the house was Disney World.
I don't know if it was Disney. I think it was Vegas.
Oh, I saw some
God,
picture or something.
It was like a Elvis doing like their vow renewal type thing.
Jeez.
And it was like 12 kids or something like that,
Yeah.
13 kids.
From what I understand, like when one of them finally managed to get out of the house and call the police, they were asking, because it didn't sound like a believable story. They're asking her, what's your address? Like,
She's like, I don't know.
she doesn't know. She doesn't know how addresses work. She doesn't know, and she has lived a sheltered life, like her entire life in that house, like no concept of.
How old at this point?
I think when she called the
She
police,
was 17.
Yeah, she was 17.
Oh my God.
And
what a
she,
waste of
because
life.
they're so incredibly underdeveloped and undernourished and educated and everything, she sounds like a small child. Like her speech patterns, her voice, everything sounds like she might be 6 or 7 years old max. And she's 17. And she says that when the cop first approached her, like after calling the police and figuring out where she was, and like they found her and eventually, went to the house and, the rest is history. But she was like, that was my first time ever talking to someone who wasn't my siblings or my parents. Like my first time ever talking to a stranger. So she was like, I didn't know like how to speak to him. Like she was just like rambling on and on because she didn't really know how, like what information to give, or like she was scared the whole time. It was just fucked up.
Yeah,
so fucked up.
Super fucked up story.
Yeah.
So what happened to the parents?
In jail.
Yeah.
For life?
Did they just
Think
get
so.
the conviction? Because it popped up on my like YouTube suggested.
Yeah, I don't know why it was
Randomly.
all of a sudden. I think they did a documentary about it recently or something
Okay,
like that.
yeah. I don't know because it popped up randomly because I saw a clip of it like the other day.
Yeah, they are. It looks like they are currently in prison.
Yeah. Maybe they just got convicted. I don't know. But it's like a fucking insane story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they just got found in January 2018. So we're coming up on 3 years since
Yeah.
that happened. Yeah, but I don't know why it was back in the news again.
No, almost 4 years.
Oh yeah, you're right. Fuck,
That'd be 2022.
2022 next month, or in just about a month.
Can I complain about something?
Well, it better be on the same level.
It's not nearly.
Yeah.
as-
Did your parents lock you up for 50 years?
No, it's not like as far as tragedy, it's way, not even on the same scale. This was during Extra Life. I was leaving Extra Life, leaving home, and I saw I'm gonna leave brands out. I saw a truck for an internet provider, and they're walking up, and they're like, "Oh, hey." I was like, "Oh, do you need anything?" And they're like, "No, we're just working on your neighbor's internet." I was like, "Okay, well, see you later." I was like going off to Extra Life. I got home, my internet didn't work,
I've had this exact same
and I was like, "I know that guy messed up my internet. Like, I know that he messed up."
Was it the same company that provides your internet?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the exact same. So then I was like, and we had a recording the next day, so I had to be like, hey, I had to go up to the office early. I tried testing it because
I remember that. Yeah.
And I asked my neighbors like, hey, is there any chance I could borrow your Wi-Fi for like a little bit? Because and they gave me their Wi-Fi password, but it wasn't strong enough. I didn't reliable.
Yeah.
so I had to go up and record the office. I call a guy out. He comes out. I was like, yeah. We just looked in there. Looks like the other guy just unplugged your line
You gave it to them?
and gave it to them.
Exact same thing. They just do that. Sometimes it's like, well, there's not enough, so sod it.
That happened to you too?
It happened to me, yeah. About
It's just
4
gonna
or
be an
5 years
endless
ago.
fucking loop.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like, then it's not their problem anymore. They've
It's the
resolved
next
the
They've
call.
done their job.
It's the
Then
next
it's like a
call.
maintenance crew has to come in, I guess, to like get more shit to that pole or something. But they just freaking do that.
I was like, what? How is?
You too?
It happened to Mike
How is
also.
this a thing?
There's not enough on each pole, so they just move them around. They
What the
move the
fuck?
problem from one customer to another
And
without
then-
even saying anything.
So then I'm like, then I had to text my neighbors like, hey, thanks so much for letting me borrow your Wi-Fi. Your your Wi-Fi might be out. You can borrow mine.
And then when they fixed yours, did theirs go out?
I think they just like
They finally
the
fixed it for good.
the guy that was out there. I was like, well, can you not just fix theirs so we can stop this cycle of madness?
It got to the point where when I saw that happening, when I saw work being done on a pole from an internet provider, I would just like go outside and look just to make sure that they can see me and they know not to do it.
Yeah.
to mine.
I feel like you should already be dialing the number.
Well, what was
It's like,
service guy.
hey.
what was frustrating is the guy looked me in the eye. Like I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm just working on your neighbors. I'm like, okay, cool. And like he knew I was. He saw me leave. And
Exactly.
yet
That's how he knew he could do it.
I know he's like, fuckers, and he's not here.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Why does each house have its own internet connection now anyway?
As opposed to.
That's a good question.
I don't know, like a street. Could a street share the connection? No, is everyone using like 2 gigabit internet?
Essentially, we're all already doing that.
Yeah, but does it like
We're
the
all-
amount of
they're-
people who probably pay for gigabit who use like 30 megabits
Yeah,
constantly?
They're not
Sure.
running a gigabit to the pole for every customer.
But why do we all have to pay? Wouldn't it be much cheaper just to have like, oh, these 5 houses share an internet connection?
Something that would garner the internet company less profit. Why
just
don't
feel-
they do that?
I just feel like a
weird
new company
idea.
should come in. Like, are you always like, I don't know. There's got to be a better system.
Real
in the world.
talk. I'm not sharing shit with my neighbor.
But you are though. You already are. Technically.
I guess.
I guess it doesn't like you can't see each other's traffic.
Right, and they might have like a different provider.
Yeah. I just feel like there's a lot
Gus
of
only
waste.
looks out for Gus.
Yeah.
We
When it
learned
comes-
this
when it
again
com-
today.
When it comes to internet, we recorded a video today.
We recorded a video today where I'll just say what the concept was. It was Race to Death in GTA, where we had like a list of, I think it was 8 different ways to die, like interesting, unique ways to die in GTA. And like we were all helping each other. It's
Not
like,
me.
oh, yeah, Chris is on his own too. But like people were helping each other, like, oh, I have a helicopter. You want to ride with me to go do this thing, and blah 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 blah. Gus the entire time. He was like, oh, I'll come pick you up, and I'm like, wait, really?
I was like, yeah,
And
I'll
then
go get you.
he was
Just
like,
wait by whatever.
He flew over me and went, sucker!
I was just trying to waste their time because I was getting
you
mad.
did,
So I
'cause
was like,
I'll
it's a
stay here.
competition. It's a race
You're
to see who
playing
can do it
dirty.
first. Why the fuck are you all helping each other?
That's the same thing. I was just trying to kill Barbara. And
Yeah, there was one point where one of the things was, sorry, I'm eating because I haven't eaten dinner, where
Driving
you
a
had to
bus.
drive a bus into the water and drown. And so you had to like fucking find a bus and then drive all the way to the ocean and drive in. The whole time I was doing this, Chris was just waiting for me in the ocean,
Well, no, I rammed you with my car. You ignored
which I
it.
missed.
And then I started sniping you, trying to shoot you as you were driving into the ocean.
Yep. I missed.
I missed. You got into the ocean. You drowned.
Yeah, and
So I killed you when you woke up.
So when I respawned in the ocean, I immediately got a headshot from Chris, just still waiting in the water. So some people were using their time to try to win, and others
I
were...
still almost. Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
I think I still did really good considering I was looking out for myself and also trying to screw everyone else over.
Yeah, that's the way you play.
It's true.
And even at the no, you have to see the video when it comes out.
We've given away so much already.
This was a recurring theme throughout the video. It's our first video recorded back in the office.
We recorded it all together in the studio today, which was interesting.
I like your little area.
We like it too. We realized that we have like our own kitchen there, and then like so many bathrooms
So
just in
many.
that area. We have like the 2 individual ones, and then like all the men's bathrooms, the women's bathrooms right there.
It's kind of in the way of the hoverboard track, though.
A little bit.
It's unfortunate.
We get a lot of hoverboard traffic
Yeah.
coming through our area.
I've done a few laps while you've been doing TikTok.
It's nice to be able to be like in the same vicinity as you guys again.
Yeah.
And like be able to just walk up the stairs and like or the ramp.
Little area,
You guys are right there.
I would like to resolve something because all the comments are about the gum on my shoe. It's tape.
Oh, it's just
It's just tape.
Tape with gum
you
on it.
clearly stood on your mark at one point.
Yeah.
But of course, like setting up this new area is frustrating also because the first few hours today are like, I gotta set up this computer.
Yeah, it's like you
and-
download all the games, all the software.
Tech's already set it up. Like from a tech perspective, the computer works. It has Windows installed on it. But now it's like, okay, now I need to download and configure every piece of software I need. And it's like, so you start doing things like, well, I can't do X because I need to do Y first, but I can't do Y because I need to do A first. But before I do A, I need to do B. Like, so it's like figuring out your end state you want and then working your way backwards.
I just want to point
to a
out,
point.
That must be frustrating.
I don't-
I didn't have to deal with that because I got a shitty computer. Can I complain about that?
you are allowed to complain about it. I don't know whether you're justified in complaining about
Okay,
it,
I'm
but go
gonna
ahead.
complain. So
Let me set the stage before Chris starts. The other day when Chris was getting his spaghetti out of town, there were the other 5 of us came in here and we started the setup process. And we had new computers at each of our stations that we were starting to get set up. And there was a blank spot at Chris's. So Chris was out of town, but Chris showed up today.
to go backstory.
Yeah, we gotta set the
A
stage
while ago,
here.
we're like, "Hey, we're moving back to office. What equipment did you take? Did you use from the office when you moved to work from home?" And I was like, "Oh, I took a computer tower. I took from Broadcast.
So you had a PC and you had all the
I had a
equipment. and stuff
PC,
like that.
and then like
It was allowed, Mike. Don't worry.
it was. I don't know who gave it to me, so I got it. But it's like an old PC from Broadcast.
I've got 3 of them.
And then, so I was like, "Hey, here's what the stuff I have," and John was like, "Cool." And then, yet last week he was like, "Hey, so I need you to move your PC to the office." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "What do you mean move it?" It's like I was like, "It was he said that he."
I like how
mentioned
you're
in a
looking
meeting-
at me and Gus as if we're gonna agree with
Yeah.
you.
he said it was he said he'd mentioned in other meetings. That was the first time I heard that I would lose my workstation at home and
But it's not it's the company's
it's the company.
workstation.
Yeah, but I don't have a workstation at home. even
Whose
though-
fault is that? We all do.
Yeah, but you're using your personal ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sucks. And I don't have one, so now I'm either have to go buy a PC.
Like we all did.
Well, you already had one.
No, I had bought one before.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You already had one.
So now
I
you
bought
could,
2 for work from home.
I'm not saying that's great that y'all.
Hey, if I took a computer from work to work from home and we were coming back to the office, I would be expected to bring it back.
Oh, no.
Aren't there enough here, though, that he can have one in both places?
That's
Not according to anyone we asked.
That's what I thought too.
We only had budget for 5.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'll bring it back up. That sucks though. But then everyone else got new computers. And I got this shitty old Broadcast one. I love you, Broadcast. It's not your fault. But I had this old computer that was like a leftover one
It's
from
not even shitty. It's a fine computer. We play GTA. We play a 9-year-old
But
I like how he's like,
game.
this computer's not good enough for me to use, but it's my workstation at home. Now we don't have it
Yeah,
anymore.
this is what you were filming with already.
I know. And now I can't film at home.
But you don't
Everyone
have
else
to film
got
at home
brand new-
anymore. You have to film here.
I know, which
That's
is
why
fine.
it's here.
I know, which is fine. But now I don't have a new station. Everyone got a brand new computer.
It's really not that like special. It's I have to reinstall Steam and reinstall
No, I would
GTA.
love to, but it's a fresh, new, clean computer with all new graphics cards and stuff. Mine's old and like
does it-
leftover?
Does it underperform for its purpose?
Yeah.
No. Oh my God. Speaking of Chris's home computer, we should show Gav Chris's OBS.
No.
So normally when we do work from home, for some reason, every time we
That's
all
not true.
get together to film, Chris always goes, "Oh, hold on, my system's not working."
That's because I don't have a mixer.
Something's messed up.
That's because I use.
Chris would always take.
We should give some more information because not everyone knows what OBS is. OBS is
Video.
basically a broadcast software we use to record and stream from our stations and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so you can have different scenes set up. So if you want a scene for just your webcam or just for gameplay, or if you want your webcam in the corner of your gameplay, you
So
can set up your scenes for
when
it.
you're watching us stream, it's how we switch from a full cam to just gameplay or the camera in the corner or our name burned in. Like that's all controlled via OBS.
If you've seen any streamers, they're probably using something similar.
You can build scenes. Oh, there's OBS right there. You can
Is
build
OBS
scenes
showing OBS.
in it that have presets. Like this scene is just gameplay. This scene is just webcam. This scene is gameplay with webcam in the
So
corner.
for, let's say, this special stream thing, I want my webcam, my gameplay, and then I also want this overlay and this button and like whatever. And you have all those little things, features in it.
Chris, I think, built just one scene and has every potential graphic in it, and he just toggles the visibility on them.
I don't know if you saw the amount of scenes in there too. There was probably 50 scenes as well.
No, there weren't that many. There were like 15, and I only used 3 of them. But OBS is never the issue. It's always audio because I don't have a mixer, and I use a virtual mixer.
You need to clean that shit up.
It's always audio.
I've never seen an OBS that looked like that.
Every one of us came by individually and went, oh my God.
Well, maybe it wouldn't happen if I had a new PC.
And then we
you would just do the same thing on the new one.
and then we were all doing our Windows updates today, and I swear last week when Chris wasn't here, I told everyone, make sure you run Windows Update, but don't install Windows 11. And then earlier today, we're all sitting there, everyone's getting their stuff set up, and all of a sudden Blaine's like, my computer's not working right. Like nothing's working anymore. It's just all broken. I ran a software update and now it doesn't work. And I said, did you update to Windows 11? He goes, how can I tell? I said, is your start bar in the middle of the bottom of the screen now? And he goes, there's a long pause, and he goes, no. It's like,
Does that automatically update to Windows 11? Isn't that like
You
a...
have to trigger it though,
you
right?
have to, you have to go out of your way in Windows Update to click, I want to upgrade to Windows 11.
I don't have it yet.
No one does because we haven't tested all of our shit in it yet.
We really need to go get a photo of Chris's OBS.
I could give you a screenshot. OBS works so easily. I could make a screenshot of it.
It gives me like actual severe anxiety looking at it.
Well, I've never had a problem with
So
OBS.
there were 15 scenes, but how many assets were there on the right side?
Because I make a new one for every game, so it has its own window. So every time we play a game, I make a new window.
You could just do game capture and it'll automatically capture whatever game you're playing.
Well, but what if I want it to be specific?
Wait, in what way is it custom to the game?
I open a.
He probably does specific window. Like he probably does game capture in specific window instead of any full screen application.
Yeah, I do.
So it's just like this long list of everything
if you
ever.
have game capture, you just click on properties and then select what you want to have shown.
This reminds me of whenever I talk to my granddad on Skype, he would install Skype a new time.
Wait, what?
Every time he would open Skype, he would install it.
So would he make a new account every time?
His applications folder had like 99 Skypes in it.
That's gonna be Chris as a grandpa.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Make sure you talk to your parents about Skype also when you're talking to them about two-factor authentication.
So for the post show, we're gonna go to the bathroom and then we're gonna take a trip over to Chris's desk.
We're going to look at his OBS.
I already shut that computer down.
Well, that's it then. Throw it in the bin.
Old girl.
It takes a while to boot up. It's not as new and fancy as your new towers.
Man.
It is crazy how just having a shitload of stuff can just wreck a day in terms of technical issues. Like we've had times where it's like, all right, everyone, arrive at 10. We only have an hour to film a GTA and it needs an update.
Oh, no.
And then suddenly 7 computers are trying to download a 24 gig update or something. It's just like, oh, well, now IT is going to throttle us because we're sucking the entire company's internet. And then it'll take like an hour. It'll be like, we film nothing.
Yeah.
But one Xbox, in a different location will be fine.
I think
True.
most of us were here by about 1 p.m. And that's like when the bulk of the work was starting. We didn't start filming, I think, until 3:45.
Yeah. To be fair, though, it's just a lot of like us getting our systems ready.
But that's all it is, right? That's like
yeah.
it's like all the little like, oh, we can't start yet because of this. We can't start yet because of this. I like with me, it was like, oh, this mini DisplayPort cable doesn't work. Let me grab a regular DisplayPort cable. This DisplayPort cable doesn't work. Let me grab an HDMI cable. Okay, finally, the HDMI cable works. But it's like every single step doesn't work. There's always a problem.
It's also very interesting to try to find that equipment in this office.
It's a scavenger hunt.
It's like a scavenger hunt because this like a bunch of departments used to be here and are still working from home while we are currently in here. And so there's just like monitors and wires and just like all the stuff that hasn't been used in 2 years that we're like, I'll use this for the time being, but I don't have the proper cable for it. So like you go around different desks and stuff like that.
All those cables I just talked about were all in the same pile on the floor. It was like, oh, there's just a pile of different video cables all right here.
I will say this though. There was this one time, like that's how this office works sometimes, and it's always worked that way. Where it's just like when something is around, people just grab it like scavengers and they take it, including office space and desk locations.
And including things from people's offices.
Yeah, Chris is acting all high and mighty here.
No, I'm not saying all high and mighty. I'm saying that's just how it is. I remember the worst was, I remember there was one time at 636 office where we had left, we were out of town for a work trip. It was like me and I don't know who all was there. You might have been there, Gus. Anyway, I got a text from, I think it was Carrie. It's like, hey, he's like, hey, just to let you know, there's some reorganization done in the studio, so your desk is in a new spot. I'm like, uh-oh. I get back, my desk is on the green screen.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, my desk was like, like a green floor, green background.
Sounds like your desk could have been on the beach. It could have been in space.
But anywhere you want.
It could be anywhere I want, but it was like, it was so hard to see because everything was green. It was just like the floor was reflecting green.
Do you think that's worse, or do you think it was worse when you were in that little like curtained off area in the flex space in stage 5?
In stage 5.
That little like writer's area. It was like,
I don't even. Oh no, the green screen was worse because it was in the middle of a big thing and everything was green. Like it hurt to look at anything.
what color was it again?
Did everything look reddish when you walked away from it?
Yeah, like
cool agree.
it really messed with your like depth perception and like your color. It's just like, like the floor was like.
Everything was green.
Were they messing with you, or was that actually where they thought your desk should
No,
be?
that's actually where it was.
They put a whole row of desks.
Yeah, we had a
in there,
bunch
right?
of desks out there for
There
a
were
while.
like 6 desks.
That was back, 636 when animation was in that same room.
Animation took over like, and then
Well, that we just started blowing up in that
Yeah.
space.
Hey, I was in the dungeon, so
which
I was in the dungeon for about a week.
which would have been
A week.
And I remember
3
feeling
days.
sorry for you until I moved to the green screen.
Yeah, me and Gavin were both in the dungeon when we started Rooster Teeth almost 10 years ago.
it's been a long time.
And Gavin quickly moved to Achievement Hunter and has been there ever since.
I said bye.
And I went, oh,
But to be fair, I still came out to mess with you on a daily basis.
you did. You did. Thank God for that.
Yeah. Gotta keep you company, even
Yeah,
though I don't sit
got
with
it,
you anymore.
yeah. Me alone in the dungeon. I think it was just me and maybe Lindsay at the time. I think they were there with me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Lindsay was in the dungeon for a little while. That was
a while.
before there were cubicles in the dungeon. Because when I was in the
Yeah.
dungeon, there were cubes. But
this is when we had the desks that kind of lined the wall
Yeah.
there. I was right by that Left 4 Dead door.
Yeah, it was like it went along the wall and then that big bay door leading up to right next to the Left 4 Dead door.
Yep. And then I shared an office with you at one point in the Adams.
I'm trying to remember who I sat in the dungeon with.
I want to say
I know
Brian?
Brian was there for a
Caleb?
while, but there was someone else who sat in the dungeon. Oh,
Was it not Caleb?
it was Tom.
John was in the dungeon for a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think John was there right before. I think John moved out of the dungeon and I took John's old
Yeah, John went
spot.
upstairs.
Yeah.
The dungeon was the only place I didn't work at the 636 office. I worked, well, in Achievement Hunter.
I had that office in the front with Adam and Barbara. I was in the dungeon and I was upstairs.
I was upstairs at one point too.
I think those are all the different places I was at.
I never worked upstairs.
I worked upstairs at every single corner. I worked in Joel's office. I worked in your old office.
I didn't have an
Or
office
no,
upstairs.
I worked in everyone's office at some point because people would like
Moved around a lot,
And
yeah.
I worked
Yeah, I was in the bullpen. That just
yeah.
I still remember how the sound booth in that office was right next to the bathroom, and so whenever there was a flush, people would have to pause their voiceover.
At least it didn't smell like shit.
Yeah, that's true.
the bathroom was right over all of our servers in that downstairs office. Like
Right.
that closet where all of our storage and everything we worked off was directly under the pipes from the
no.
bathroom upstairs.
We were this just on the topic of 636 that and like stuff that happened in that office. We did a video last week where we did like a white elephant gift exchange. And I was reminded of when we did Secret Santa at the office and Brandon had me and he got me coal as my gift
Because you were naughty?
just because he thought it would be funny.
Yeah.
And like this is when the company was maybe like 40, 50 people. So there's not a lot of people and like everyone was getting really thoughtful gifts. Like the entire company was participating. And like I was like watching people get their gifts and be like all sweet on each other and all that stuff. And then Brandon comes into our office and he goes, "Hey, Barbara, Merry Christmas," or like Happy Hanukkah or whatever he said. I was like, oh, Brandon, like, thank you. You had me. That's awesome. He goes, it's coal. And I go, yeah, I see that. That's funny. Yeah. He's like, yeah, that stuff's really expensive. And I'm like,
Did you burn it for heat?
cool.
I think that's a great gift. I think that is funny.
It's funny for
But
like
it's
a
not
5
personal
seconds.
or anything.
It's funny, but then you got to follow it up with like a real gift.
Right.
You got to be
Just
like,
kidding.
Yeah, it's a funny like switcheroo.
Yeah.
You're like,
But when you don't switch the roux,
We don't switch the roux. He later, I think, felt so bad that he like got me a bunch of stuff from Toy Joy or whatever. And like Brandon's a nice guy. I don't think he like thought I would actually be upset by it. I thought that I
what
would
if it
enjoy
was
it.
a giant human-sized sack and coal was in it?
That'd be a great gift. I'm gonna dress him up. La la la.
So I tried to figure out how much coal costs. In 2020, the national
coal.
average sales price of coal at coal mines was $28.88 per short ton.
What's a short ton?
I don't know what a short ton is, but it makes me
Is it
think
like a baker's dozen?
coal is cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
but maybe if you buy an
I
individual,
think the budget was like $40 or something.
no, it was like $20 or something.
no, it's a
50
little higher. People are getting alcohol and stuff like that.
Okay, I know I quit doing it after the first one because I got too stressed out.
There's a ton and
the
there's a
British
metric ton.
is a long ton, which is 2,240 pounds. The U.S. ton is a short ton, which is 2,000 pounds. So you can buy
1,000 kilograms, isn't it? A metric ton.
Yeah. You can buy 2,000 pounds of coal at a coal mine for $28.88.
So he was bullshitting me.
He could have powered the entire company.
The average delivered price of all coal delivered to electric power sector was $36.14 per short ton. Delivered.
Maybe he bought
He was
like a
so
novelty
proud.
coal.
Maybe you should be thankful he didn't buy you a short ton.
I guess so. That would have been. I don't know what I would have done with that.
That's a real money making business. If you can buy a ton of coal, and then create like a novelty website where you ship coal to people around the holidays and charge like $30 or $40. Like every
That
time
has to exist.
you sell
That's
a lump
probably-
of coal, you've already made profit. Like you sell one lump, you've already paid for the entire ton of coal you have.
How much would a short ton of chicken spaghetti cost?
A short ton. It probably
Well, if
more
you get
than
it 30%
coal.
off. Yeah.
I
I would have
thinking,
preferred to get chicken spaghetti to coal.
well,
in
if
that
you
situation.
go purchase something, you could have a chance
I
to
might.
win.
Hey, I like
Could
those
be
odds.
your Secret Santa surprise. I do think if Cole ever wanted to like role play in the bedroom, be like, "Oh, you've been naughty. Looks like you get a
No,
lump."
please stop. I don't want to hear Chris role play.
I want to hear it.
This was me pretending to be Cole role
Yeah.
Yeah,
playing.
Keep
even
going.
better. So continue. You've been
you
naughty.
get a lump of coal. Or
Every girl wants to hear you get a lump of.
You shrunk Gus.
You're not gonna get a lump of Gus tonight. That's for sure.
Nope.
Hey, baby, let me stick this lump in you. Like it's not ever. Like that's not a sexy word.
or maybe these
How low is it going?
you got some naughty lumps.
Oh dear.
My lovely
Yeah.
lady lumps.
Yeah, I can't talk today. I'm just getting too excited. I'm like mushing all my words. What the fuck is this?
What are you guys gonna get people for the holidays?
Pumpkin spice. I don't know. That's like the most stressful thing. That's the thing I don't like about the holidays is like the sense of obligation.
Yeah.
That you have to get someone a gift. Like I think giving someone a gift should be like you see something that makes you think of someone and you buy it for them like as a thoughtful thing. Like when it comes time to like you're obligated to give people gifts, it's like, oh fuck. Then I just like start stressing about it, start worrying.
What do you and Esther do? Do you guys get stuff for
No,
each other?
no.
Okay. I'm talking to Trevor about it. His birthday falls around Christmas as well. So I always feel like, okay, well, if your birthday was any other time, I would obviously get something for you. So it's like, I want to be able to separate those two things.
Yeah.
But we're talking about for Christmas how, like, we need a couple new appliances, perhaps. So maybe we, like,
That's
spend it together and, like, buy each other an appliance.
What's more romantic, a dryer or a dishwasher? Or a fridge?
Fridge.
My
Probably
fridge
because we need
has
that the most.
my fridge has a Sabbath mode.
What does that mean? Like, it powers down on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's a way of opening it without turning the lights on and without changing the temperature.
yeah.
mine has a Sabbath mode too. We were
Wait,
talking
what?
about this
Wait,
the other
what?
day.
So on the Sabbath, you're not supposed to use electricity if like very religious people. because it's like considered work.
Yeah.
So
Even though the fridge is on.
I know, even though the fridge.
Well,
is
what
on.
I tried reading up on it, and I think the loophole is that when Sabbath mode is engaged, you can't change the temperature in your fridge because you're
Right.
affecting the electricity.
And I think
it's
the
already
water and
running.
ice also
Right.
stops.
If it was already on, it's already running. What you're doing doesn't affect it because it's already set. The ice maker, however, stops because if you're using ice, then it would make more. And the lights that turn on when you open the fridge, you would be affecting, so those don't work anymore either.
The very extreme, like the very religious people don't even rip things on the Sabbath. So people will pre-rip their toilet paper
Oh, wow.
in advance
What do
for
you
Saturday.
mean rip?
What do you think that means in relation to toilet paper,
Well, I mean,
Chris?
but like, why?
Like tear off, break, rip.
Because that's work.
I don't really know the
yeah.
reasoning behind it. I probably did when I was younger, but it's just like that to me is
It's interesting that's made its because I assume like an ancient practice from way before technology. It's weird to see it. I guess it's interesting that it's been implemented into like modern tech
Yeah.
in an official way. Because I'd never seen that option. I was just trying to figure out why it kept telling me to change the water filter when I'd done that already.
right.
And I just scrolled all the way to the end. It said Sabbath mode, and it said unavailable. I was like, I can't even use it. But that's and then I was looking at what it was, and there's like loads of videos of people trying to like basically hack a Sabbath mode by putting magnets on their fridge on Saturday so that it thinks the door's closed when it's open. It's like people actually do go to extreme lengths to properly observe that.
Probably.
I think some ovens have it too.
You've got my disease, my inability to speak
We're all
disease.
having trouble talking today.
We're all excited.
It's funny though if you go to some synagogues. I actually I've only been to a couple synagogues in my life and they've all had this. So I don't know if it's all of them, but they have the toilet paper that's the individual sheets that you pull out instead of like the rolls
to avoid rippage.
to avoid
Interesting.
rippage.
I also read that you can totally break all those rules to save someone's life. I can't speak.
Yeah, it's spreading over here.
So if you're saving someone's life,
Yeah, you can.
You could rip all the toilet paper.
You can
want.
rip.
Do you know what that means? Ripping toilet paper?
yeah,
Are you clear on that
But
now?
now I was just thinking about some sort of, I don't know. There's a business opportunity where you could be like set up situations where you could save someone's life and do the things that you need to do, like open the fridge or rip toilet paper.
I think it's. I don't think that's how it works.
No, but like if you're
Hey,
like,
Gavin, here, chew this, choke, but be in the fridge.
I don't know. I'm just. I guess they found
It's basically like essentially saying human life is
more important.
than anything. So like if you need to
As
break any
it
of
should be.
these,
Which is good.
of course.
Yeah.
No question.
Speaking of Trevor, he sent me a TikTok the other day. It's like 2 days ago.
Okay.
It's like, he knows I love aviation. It was just like the view from a cockpit of a plane landing in fog and like hearing the voice going like 300, 200, 100, 30, 20, 10, and you don't see anything. Like the plane touches down, then after it's on the ground, then you see like the runway lights. And I was like, that's fucking terrifying.
You'll probably have to do that someday, right?
Well, what I replied to him was, I had my most recent flying lesson was on Friday, and this was the first time my instructor introduced me to this thing called foggles, which are glasses you put on that are entirely fogged on the top, so you can only see out of the bottom to simulate like flying in a cloud, so you can't see anything other than the instruments in front of you. And so he like at 3,000 feet, my instructor's like, here, put these on. And so it's like you can only see the instruments, and even though I knew we're at 3,000 feet, and I knew everything, and he's there, like nothing bad's gonna happen, it was still terrifying.
Yeah.
Not being able to look out and to only see the instruments, and like it was just so nerve-wracking. So I can't imagine what that's like, coming into land and not being able to see anything until you're already
What
on
if
the
you
ground.
just heard the numbers? It was like 30, 20, 10, 0, minus 10. So you're like, where am I?
That doesn't
You're
sound
through
right.
the universe right now. Congratulations, you've made it. You've ascended.
decent.
Nice.
I feel like I could never.
You've descended so much that you've ascended.
You clip through.
The toilet paper rippings just blow my mind. I feel like I
also
wouldn't.
really hope
I'd
I'm
be a
not doing
terrible
that.
judge at how much to rip.
I think they just do a bunch of pieces so that you could use, like, if you
They
need
just
more.
each square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Because sometimes it's like you
want
underestimate,
some.
and I'd be like, oh, I gotta rip one now.
I actually did misinterpret the
Shit.
toilet paper rippage.
No
Wait.
kidding. We couldn't have
Wait,
guessed.
what did you think was
I
going on?
thought like when you start a new roll of toilet paper, you're like, that's like ripping it.
Like you kind of
open.
take the kind of glue
Yeah,
part off.
I thought that's what you were talking about. I swear to God, I know this is stupid. So when you were like toilet paper rippage, I was like, oh, yeah, so they can't open a new roll of toilet paper, but you actually mean tearing the toilet paper.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't just grab the whole roll and wipe it across.
Did you eat some extra vitamins on your way here to the podcast today, Chris?
No. Just this chicken spaghetti.
Just chicken spaghetti. I was telling Gavin the other day, I got a new credit card a couple days ago because the old credit card it was replacing didn't technically exist. Because when years ago, a long time ago, I got a Continental Airlines credit card, but Continental Airlines
yeah, that's gone, right?
merged with United. So the Continental Airlines credit card I got was a MasterCard. United's credit card program is a Visa. So after United took over, I had a United Airlines MasterCard, which didn't exist. So most of the time, it wasn't an issue, but there were weird quirks about it. Like I couldn't use it in Apple Pay. It just wouldn't
Yeah.
work. And like in dealing with the airline, sometimes they'd be like, no, you're giving me a MasterCard number. It's supposed to be a Visa. Like, no, I know, but it's a MasterCard. It was just, so finally they phased it out, but it's been like
It's a long time.
10 years at this point, and they finally phased it out. And it was just weird to me to finally be done with that card. It's like, you can't get that anymore. It's like a weird anomaly that shouldn't have existed, but existed for a brief window in time. And now it's like they finally have decided to be done with it and get rid of it, and it's gone once and for all.
Did you have like a really good like deal on it, and that's why you wanted to keep it and didn't want to?
Well, no, it's because after they merged, mine stayed a MasterCard. I don't know why. Like, they just never issued me a Visa. It was like, okay, like, and it worked fine. It was like, I've no reason to like rock the boat and change anything.
I have a huge first world problem gripe with an airline card.
What's that?
It's going to be like the biggest first world problem.
That's all this podcast is for.
That's very true. So a couple of years ago, when I started traveling a lot more for conventions and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, let me invest in this credit card, which allows me access to the American Airlines lounge.
Right.
You pay like a yearly fee, and it gives you access to the lounge because I'm at airports all the time. It's worth the money to me to be able to have access to lounge. You have Wi-Fi, you have snacks, all that stuff, and it's more comfortable. It used to be that you could go use the lounge whenever you're at the airport. You just swipe the credit card, blah, blah, blah. Now they've changed it to the fact that you have to be flying American to use the lounge, even if you have that card.
Yes.
And you also, if you are flying American and you're allowed to bring a guest with you too, they also have to be flying American to come in with you.
Get rid of that card.
No, I think all airlines became this way.
They did.
Yeah, like I think there was a universal change about 3 years ago.
It's
Two
just-
or 3 years
Just
ago.
nip down and buy a quick ticket on American. What are you complaining about?
But you're right. It used to be just like it didn't matter. You could just get in.
It's not a small fee. It's
Right.
like $400 a year that you pay.
Wow.
I mean, I would have fly like almost every weekend.
Yeah, no,
so
no.
it's definitely worth
but
it.
that's what I'm saying. With that
But it's-
big of a fee, they should let you in the
You
damn
should
lounge.
have access to the lounge. And so I think they might have gotten rid of the fee now that the new rule is implemented. But it was just like, well, that sucks. So it just like sadly walked back down the stairs after like being rejected at the door.
To Gavin's point, could you just quickly buy a refundable ticket for later in the day, scan it, then when you get in, request a refund on your ticket?
That's such.
I mean, if you really
So
wanted to
annoying for
use the
everyone.
lounge,
It's annoying for you.
probably
It's
do
annoying
that.
for them.
you could probably do that. Yeah. But yeah, I tried to negotiate. I was like, I'm usually always on American. It's just I happen to be booked on this other airline because I had a direct flight this time. Like they're like, sorry, you got to be flying American.
Then the next time, just step off to the side, do what I said. Okay, all right, I'm flying American later.
yeah.
I feel like I could take or leave the lounge. It doesn't really make a huge difference to me, but I love it for dumps. If you need an
Yeah.
airport
Yeah.
dump,
It's way better. Well, it's also just nice to have like a place you could sit and put your stuff and get up to go use the bathroom without taking it with you. And like, I don't know.
I don't really care about it.
They're just small details that just make traveling a little more comfortable when you do it a lot.
Yeah, I think I just flew without any of those luxuries for so long. I can.
I mean, yeah, I did too.
It's fine.
But once you have them, it's hard to be like, well, I'll just go sit on this uncomfortable like cardboard seat in the Austin airport that they have there.
Gavin is totally right. It's worth it just for the dumps.
Yeah,
You-
it's like the
if you
one
need- if
area
you
where
need
it's
to
like,
go.
I don't have a problem dumping anywhere.
But like in there, it's like it's nice. Normally, in the American lounge, like the stalls are all enclosed.
Yeah.
It's like floor to ceiling, the door that closes. You don't have to worry about seeing anybody or.
Someone said you can make fake boarding passes or QR codes. They still scan them, and they gotta work.
Also, isn't that like a legal issue? Probably.
There might be legal ramifications with dipping
Everything's
that.
always more legally problematic when airline travel is involved.
Yeah, I think
you really shouldn't.
I
mess
think
with
the
that
Department of Justice also recently said they're going to be focusing on prosecuting people who interfere with airline operations, like with flight attendants or who don't wear masks on planes, in order to try to.
Those people are just trying to keep you safe in the sky and just do their job. It's just so annoying to see people treat them so poorly. It's not bad to see anyone treat anyone poorly, but like, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Airline people, like, they're just
they're there for your safety.
They're there for your safety. They're getting you from point A to point B. Just fucking listen. Wear a mask for 2.5 hours or however long you're on the flight, and then go home.
Yeah, take it
You
off.
did a long flight recently.
I did. I went to the UK.
How's it all hanging over there?
It's good. It's good. It's weird. It's not a lot of mask wearing over there in the UK. I was in London for a little bit, and then we went to Telford for the convention that we went to. But in London,
Telford.
it's like it doesn't exist there. Like maybe 1 out of every 200 people is wearing a mask.
I guess
Inside
it
and
depends
outside.
on how bad it is at the time.
Yeah. I asked a cab driver about it, and he's like, yeah, after calling me madam about 70 times, he said that the vaccination rate is really high, and so people are not really like bothered anymore. And I was like, okay.
Do you not like being called madam?
No, it was the sheer amount. It was probably every second or third word. Yeah, madam, all right, madam, we're going to be going right here, madam, and then we're going to turn left, madam. And I was like, yes, I got it. Don't worry.
Telford, it's just west of Birmingham,
Yes, about
just
an hour.
east of Shrewsbury.
Yes, we went to Shrewsbury. I almost got stranded in Shrewsbury.
Isn't that where Darwin's from?
Because we went into Shrewsbury one night to have dinner, and we were there until the restaurant closed, which was like 11:30. There's no Uber there, and every taxi company we called was fully booked for the night.
Wow.
Every single cab company.
So how'd you get out?
One person I was with managed to find like this car service that he was able to like find an available car for and like get it to come pick us up. But we were starting to look at hotels in that area because we're like, we're not getting out of
That
here.
happened to me in Greece. I left, made some friends with some Canadians and like went back to their like villa thing. We were hanging out, and at some point I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go back to my place, middle of an island. And there was like no Uber and no cabs. And the number I had.
Stranded.
So I just slept on a bench
See, I wasn't going to do that.
until like I was at a turning. So I just slept until I saw a car come by and I waved them down. Thankfully, they were dropping someone off.
Some
You
people,
were
that's
always
what the difference between men and women are.
Yeah, Chris, you will always be
I
fine.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In any situation, you will. I feel like you're just always happy to just go with the flow, whatever happens.
like reinforcing what you just said there, Barbara. I remember the first time we met Gav in the UK. We were there for that festival with me and Jason. At one point during that trip, we had a couple of days to kill, and Jason and I were walking by Waterloo Station, and we said, "Oh, wouldn't it be crazy if there was a train leaving for Amsterdam right now?" And we walked in, and there was. So we're like, "Oh, let's just go to Amsterdam," and we just like walked on the train, like no, pre-iPhone, no accommodations booked or anything. And we were like, yeah, if we get there and we can't find a place to stay, we'll just sleep in the train station. No big deal. Just like real loosey-goosey, just like whatever happens, happens. We're just going to go and
How long was
Make the
that
best of it.
train ride?
I'd be too scared.
it was, I want to say it was like 7 hours. Because we went down through the tunnel to Paris. And it was all the same train. And it went all the way straight to, no stops. I don't think there were any stops all the way to Amsterdam.
That's awesome.
But on the way back, because of the fare we bought, we had to spend the night in Brussels. It was like the weird rule of the train fare. It's like, all right, you got to stop and spend the night in Brussels. And we didn't have any accommodations there either. We just had to figure that out.
It's always funny when I go to we end this conversation. When I go to conventions in the UK, everyone is so nice there. First of all, people at UK conventions are some of the nicest people ever. I think they're just like so happy that you made it all the way from America to the UK to come see them.
It's like people in Perth.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Australia too, and Canada. Pretty much every country.
Except for the U.S. Everyone's really nice
Everyone's
everywhere
nice.
else.
But everyone's always like, you got to get Gavin out here. And I go, I don't think he's going to come to a convention in Telford. I don't know if he would do that. Or if it just like focus on London or where your family is or something like that. But you don't really do conventions much.
Honestly, I stopped doing them like 8 years. I just do RTX.
Right, exactly. So I'm like, I'm sorry to tell you this. I don't think he's coming.
It's just because I travel enough anyway, just for not conventions and
Right, we go for Ruby usually.
yeah, like burning every weekend would just be horrendous.
It's long.
It takes a lot out of you.
But I said hi for
not
you.
just the event, but the travel.
I said hi for you to everybody.
I do say hi, and they're in spirit. See, that's getting soggy.
Is that still
Feel
frozen?
it. Feel it. Still rock hard. Hit the table with it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
No, look, see, like ugh.
No, it's just softening, but
Oh my
Still
god.
pretty solid. No, that doesn't sound as solid as it did before.
That's gonna bend.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
Do that.
No, look at it. There's a bent. You bent it.
oh, I broke the bag. I'm gonna need a new. No, that's ice. I could.
Something is melting on your finger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's. I'm not gonna say there hasn't been some ice
That's
melting.
inedible now.
No, it's not. It's fine.
Hey, still a chance to win.
Yeah, anyone listening at home or watching at home, hey, time's not up. You could win. Just, send that receipt or, don't even. I don't care.
All right. Well, we need to end this so Chris can go back to freezing his pasta.
Please.
But like we said for the post show, we'll go run over to the bathroom real fast
Oh god.
and give it a little whiff. But yeah, we'll see you guys again next week. Oh, don't forget, storyreceipt.com. I just saw the graphics a second ago.
Is that a QR code? We have a QR
We
code.
have a QR. We have a
Sick.
QR code.
Does
Better not
Garbo
be
have
fake.
a QR?
All right. See y'all next week. Bye.